I won $10 million on a lottery ticket. And my parents want to give the money to my brother to buy a mansion and a limousine to marry his wife. Me. What about me? My mom. You're always going to get married. And then the man will buy you a car and a house. So what's the point of needing so much money? Fine. In that case. You won't get anything. I spent $100 on a lottery ticket. And I didn't expect to win $10 million. I held down my excitement and checked the winning numbers over and over again. After checking the numbers 10 times in a row to make sure they were correct, I jumped on the spot with my hands in the air. I'm rich. I guess Fan Jean was in the same state of madness. My parents heard the commotion and pushed open the door to my room. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with being rich? I laughed and ran over to them, kissing them on the cheek. Mom and Dad. I won $10 million in the lottery. Ha ha ha. I'm rich. What? $10 million. My parents' eyes widened in surprise. Give it to me. I handed them the ticket in my hand. And they read the winning numbers one by one through their presbyopic glasses. And after confirming it 3 or 4 times, they looked up and said, ha ha ha. Great. My daughter has won the lottery. The 3 of us laughed and hugged and jumped together. No words could describe our excitement at this moment. I brought the ticket over and said, I can finally buy a big house. I can finally eat mountains of food. My dream is to buy a big villa so that my family can live together. Last month I went to see a few villas, one of which was particularly to my liking. But the money in my pocket wasn't even enough to buy a room. Although I can't afford it, I can still look at it. At least it motivates me to work hard. Our family living conditions are not poor, not rich. Parents are workers, but thrifty for a lifetime. A piece of clothing is new for 3 years, old for 3 years, and mended for another 3 years. Although my brother and I had no worries about food and clothing, my parents favored my brother Jason Ming a bit. My daughter. We need to think about this. My mom said. Yes. We need to think about it. My dad agreed. My dad agreed. When I heard that, I thought they had a point. Okay then. But I want to have a seafood dinner for lunch. When my mom heard this, she frowned and said, we haven't even gotten the money yet. Why are we spending it? What's wrong with having a big meal? It's not like I can't afford it. I said. A seafood dinner must cost thousands of dollars. That's no way to spend money. Thrift and frugality are traditional virtues in our family. Besides, your brother is only in his first year of college and has a lot of money to spend. My mom has never been able to afford good food. Your mom's right. My dad said. Why don't we order a seafood fried rice takeout so we don't have to cook for lunch? I hesitated for a while and reluctantly nodded. Okay then. Seafood fried rice is seafood fried rice. Although I was a bit lost, but thinking that it was a small thing after all, I stopped bothering with them. During the meal, we happily talked about how to spend the money. I said, Jiang, we can buy a 5-bedroom apartment for Mingcheng. So he'll have a wedding room when he gets married. I've looked at the high-end school district apartments in the city center, and they all start at $4 million. When we buy a Mercedes-Benz luxury car, we will have a house and a car, and our mission will be accomplished. My mom said cheerfully. My mom said cheerfully. My dad nodded his head vigorously. Good guy. This $5 million will be gone. $10 million deduct $2 million tax. There are still $3 million left. I have $3 million is not bad. I thought they would discuss how to spend the money on me next. But what I heard them say simply took me by surprise. Let's keep $2 million for retirement and defense. And the remaining $1 million will be distributed to the relatives back home, so that they can also benefit from it. Save them from saying we're cheap. My mom said cheerfully. What about me? I asked as I swallowed the seafood fried rice in my mouth. My mom said, "You are always going to get married. And then the man will buy you a car and a house. Why do you need so much money?" I didn't realize that I wasn't even in her planning, let alone the lottery I won. I heard the sound of a broken heart. Although I used to avoid admitting my parents' favoritism. Instead, I tried to make excuses for them and persuade myself not to think too much. After all, they are my parents. But the words that came out of my mom's mouth today still made me feel like I had been stabbed in the heart. So that I could no longer find an excuse to deceive myself. Mom, I'm your daughter. Right? I'm still no better than those relatives. Besides, this is the lottery ticket I bought. How much did you pay for the ticket? They'll give it to you. Give me the ticket. My mom said. Mom, is it the same thing? I refused. They'll give you the money for the lottery ticket if you win $10 million. And you give me the ticket. Will you? My mom froze when she heard. Who am I to give it to you? Yeah. So who am I to give it to you? I asked her. You damned girl. Are you trying to trick me? My mom got anxious. Put down her chopsticks. And reached out to me. What do you mean by what? What do you mean by that? Because I'm your mom. Because I gave birth to you and raised you. You can't repay me. Can you? I didn't say I wouldn't repay you. If you say we should buy a house, then let's buy a house. But even if you're my mom, you can't do this to your daughter. Can you? I said. Jessica Hahn. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by screwing your daughter? What did we screw you with? Did we force you to marry the little bastard or what? My mom was aggressive. Seeing this, my dad winked at my mom and said, "Oh, we're all family. Who's in the middle?" I'm not afraid that people will laugh at us if we make such a scene. Humph. Is it the same? If it's really the same, why didn't they even mention me? When we go to collect the prize, your mom and I will go with you. And then you can give your bank card to your dad for safekeeping. So no one will dare to think of you. Yeah. Just do what your dad says. Ha ha ha. Ha. What a husband and wife. Keep it for me. Do you think I'm stupid? I'm afraid I won't even get a dime. If I hadn't heard their plan to spend the money, I might have done it. But now I've changed my mind. I smiled. Okay. Then it'll be hard for mom and dad. Seeing that I was so obedient, they diverted the topic to the matter of buying a house for my brother. When they got excited, they laughed happily, as if they already had millions of dollars in hand. This unpleasantness was soon forgotten by my parents. My mom was so proud of herself that before she went to bed at night, she sent out a $200 red packet to the family group and said, "Our family has had an unexpected stroke of luck and won the $10 million lottery. So I'm sending out a red packet to let us all have a little bit of joy." My mom is always the fastest red packet snatcher in the family group. But she has never sent a red packet. My relatives have always mocked my mom for being cheap, whether intentionally or not. This time, she won't let go of this perfect opportunity to set up a generous persona for herself no matter what. Look at how generous I am. Unlike all of you who are so stingy that you can't even snatch $2 from a red packet that costs $50 at the most. Less than a minute after my mom's message was sent, the family group exploded. Wow. Really? Are you kidding me? Congratulations. This is a great news. You've become the first millionaire in our village. Congratulations. As we talked, the style changed to borrowing money. Oh, can you lend me $200,000 or $300,000? My youngest son is getting married and I want to buy him a house in the county. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to afford to pay for it. Can you lend me 100,000? 100,000 is just a drop in the bucket for you. I want to build a house on my own private land. and am short of 100,000 yuan. I want to build a house on my own private land, and am short of 100,000 dollars. At my mom, at my dad. The person who spoke was a distant cousin of mine. I thought my mom would say no, but she said yes. Okay. No problem. Oh my God. Is this my mom? It's not her own money that she agreed so readily. I borrowed 10,000 with her before to save the emergency. She not only did not borrow but also gave me a scolding, saying that I am a backstabber. But also said that there is a daughter asked parents to borrow money. Not all are the daughter to parents to spend money. During the day, they have already excluded me from their planning. But now they are playing generous in the family group. I don't get it. How can their own daughters be worse than these relatives? I was just thinking that they are my parents after all. Would it be too heartless not to give them a penny? But the next words I heard made me determined not to give them a penny. I arrived at the door of my parents' room and was about to knock on the door to remind them not to show off their wealth in the family group when I heard them mention my name. Curious. I put my ear close to the door. Dad. We need to cash in the lottery ticket before Jessica Han takes it all for herself. My mom said. Keep your voice down so the girl doesn't hear. My dad said. You're right. It's better to keep the money in your own hands. Sooner or later, she'll have to marry someone else. And she doesn't need the money. Giving it to her is like giving it to an outsider. Heh. So I'm just an outsider in your hearts. Just go along with her for a few days and don't let her get suspicious. My dad said. My mom agreed with my dad. By the way, did you really agree to lend money to your relative? My dad asked. Why not? When we are rich, we can't cut off our relatives. We have to show those relatives who look down on us that we are rich. And then we will see who still looks down on us. As they were talking, their phone rang. And when it was connected, my mom's voice came from the room. Yes. Son. Your sister won $10 million in the lottery. And she hasn't cashed the prize yet. So when she cashes the prize, she will buy you a set of school houses. And then buy a Mercedes-Benz luxury car when you graduate. So hey. Your father and I are waiting for you to get married and give us a grandchild. You just find a girlfriend in college who matches your social status and leave the rest to us. They smiled broadly, forgetting about me. The house was buzzing with activity, but I felt incredibly lonely. Suddenly, I felt so alienated from my home, the place where I had lived for 25 years. It turned out that my dear parents and my brother were the family, and I was not important to them. My nose was sore. Just as I was about to leave, my father's voice came from inside. Mingcheng, your monthly living expenses of 1,500 renminbi are not enough. Right? You'll have to spend even more if you have a girlfriend. They'll give you 2,500 yuan starting next month. So don't save it for mom and dad. He said. I didn't realize until now that my brother's living expenses were $1,500, of which $1,000 was from me. My mom told me to work and help the family out. So I started transferring 1,000 yuan to my brother every month from the first paycheck I received after I started working. I thought my brother's living expenses were the same as mine. But I never knew that my parents gave him another 500 yuan every month. If it weren't for my frugality and part-time job, I wouldn't have dared to buy the right supplies every month, let alone clothes. I still gave my mom 200 yuan every month and told her, "Mom, this is what I earned from my part-time job. You can use it to buy something nice to eat." My mom sometimes thought it was too little, and even directly reduced the living expenses to 800, and said, "Since you're earning money, I won't give you so much, because your dad's health is not good, and he also needs money to recuperate." I thought my mom was right, so I didn't say anything, and thought, let's just leave it at 800. It's enough to save. If I hadn't heard them say that my brother's living expenses were 1,500, maybe I wouldn't have been so upset. But after I heard that, I really realized what it means to have no harm without comparison. I suddenly felt that my goodwill had been viciously thrown to the ground and trampled on repeatedly. It was as if a piece of my heart had been emptied, and a cold wind whistled through it, chilling me to the bone. So this was my good mom and dad. I couldn't even find a reason to deceive myself. I withdrew my hand in midair, and walked back to my bedroom with my heartache. This night, I lost sleep. Early the next morning, my mom made my favorite fried dumplings and yelled at me to get up for breakfast. "Hurry up and eat. What are you waiting for?" My mom urged as I stared at the dumplings. "Yeah, you have to eat them while they're hot. They won't be good if they get cold." My dad chimed in. "They're your favorite." Pan-fried dumplings are indeed my favorite. The burnt outside and soft inside would give me a great sense of satisfaction. However, my mom never made them for me, citing lack of time. If my brother Jason Ming asked for fried dumplings, she would set the alarm and get up early to make them. It's all because of my brother that I get to eat fried dumplings. But I don't like them anymore. I spread my hands and shook my head helplessly. When you were little, you always wanted fried dumplings. So your mom didn't have time to make them. Now that your mom has worked so hard to make them, why don't you appreciate it? My dad said. You have to be grateful. You can't let your mom down. My dad said. I've heard similar words since I was a child. And I've heard them all before. They told me, you have to be filial to your parents. But that's not how they treated their grandparents. My father's siblings threw their grandparents around like a ball. And in the end they froze to death in front of my uncle's house one New Year's Eve. They told me you're the older sister. You have to let your younger brother grow up and your younger brother protects you. But wouldn't it have been fine if they had bought double the toys and snacks? But they only buy one copy of everything. I want to play, want to eat, can only rely on the robbery. But in the end are the younger brothers. The aggrieved one is always me. They told me, don't look at these leftovers. In the old days they could have saved a family. And they forced me to drink the leftovers they didn't want to drink, so that they could save food. They think it's a waste. Why don't they drink it themselves? Or do they think I only deserve to drink leftovers? A roof of false praise was thrown over my head, leaving me breathless. All I know is that people are with each other, thinking about the aggravation I've suffered in the past, and the conversation I heard them have last night. My fire rose. Who asked you to make fried dumplings? I asked you to make them before. But you didn't do it. I don't like fried dumplings anymore. Isn't it normal for me not to eat them? Why do I have to eat them just because you made them? When my mom heard this, she was about to have a fit. But my dad saw this and quickly answered. If you don't want to eat it, then don't eat it. There are still steamed buns and pickled vegetables. Jiang Liwei. Look at her. What has she become? My mom pointed an index finger at me. My mom pointed an index finger at me and glared at my dad. I didn't look at them. I just kept eating the steamed buns. Not long after my mom's phone rang. It was my aunt who called. My mom's cell phone missed a lot of sound. Aunt pleasantries for a while to get to the point. Sister. You are a multimillionaire. Lend me 300,000. My son object to buy a set of houses in the county before they are willing to marry. I'm sure you'll be able to help me out. But I'm sure you'll be able to help me out, she said. My mom agreed quickly. That's great. Sis. Let's make a deal and don't go back on it. My aunt said. Uneasy. Auntie was uneasy. Look at what you said. My word is my bond. My mom promised. My mom promised. My aunt hung up the phone with a sense of relief. And my mom looked slightly pleased with herself. In less than 3 minutes, my mom's phone rang again. Hey. Sis. I heard you say in the group last night that you guys won $10 million. Is it true or not? After getting my mom's affirmative answer, my distant cousin also went straight to the point. Then can you lend me $100,000 to build a house? And I'll pay you back as soon as I have the money. I'll pay you back as soon as I have the money. Okay. I'll transfer it to you as soon as I receive the award. You can send me your bank account number later. My mom said with great confidence. After hanging up the phone, my mom was still basking in the feeling of superiority. She looked at me and said, Henin, you can see. Your aunt and your distant cousin want to borrow money. Our relatives. We do not help who help. We have to be conscientious. You say right? I helplessly laughed. They are looking for you to borrow. But not me. If you want to borrow, you borrow. I want. My mom froze for a moment. People have to learn to be grateful. Not because of the money to cut off the family. Or people will laugh at you for not having a family education. It doesn't matter to me whether I recognize it or not. I responded. It doesn't affect me at all. My mom is on fire. Hey. You dead girl. Today you are eating gunpowder or what? I've made fried dumplings that you don't eat and have to chew on steamed bread. And I've asked you to borrow money that you don't borrow. And am still in a position to cut off my family's affection. I'm going to put it out there today. He said. I'm going to put it out there today. You have to borrow. You have to borrow. You don't have to borrow. You have to do what you promised others. Okay. Okay. Calm down. My dad winked at my mom. My mom couldn't stand it any longer and yelled. If you don't eat it, I'll feed it to the dogs. I won't even feed it to the dogs. Fine. Then feed it to the dog. The dog might even thank you. Slap. A slap rang out clearly. And my head tilted to the side. Jessica Hahn. Do you talk to your mom like that? Apologize to your mom. My dad yelled. Don't think I won't dare to hit you when you're older. The burning pain came from my face. I put down my chopsticks and said, I won't eat or apologize. After saying that, I slammed the door and left. Wear those false compliments yourselves. I don't care. Since you guys are heartless. Don't blame me for being unrighteous. The next day I wore a mask and sunglasses to receive the award. Then I went to a real estate agent without stopping to pay the full price of more than $5 million for the villa I was interested in. And spent more than $1 million to buy a rental house for renting. And trusting the agent to help me rent it out. And all I had to do was to wait for signing the contract and collecting the money. I also bought myself a 300,000 yuan car. At this point, there is less than $1 million left in the bank card. I immediately went to the bank. In the fund manager's recommendation, I bought all the money financial products. Only left $100,000 in cash in the card. Spending money in a big way is so damn cool. I drove the car back home. My mom saw my new car and asked in surprise. Where did you get the money to buy a car? I won the lottery. I answered her with a smile. When my mom heard that, she almost lost her footing and put her hand on the door frame and said, What? You cashed in the lottery? Yeah. I did. Oh my goodness. How could we have such an unfilial daughter in our family? My mom cried out, beating her chest. Why did you go to the lottery on your own? Yeah. Didn't we say we'd go together? My dad said. My dad said. I smiled and replied. I've suddenly changed my mind. So I won't bother you two with the prize. As soon as I finished speaking, my dad slapped me hard on the face. And my face immediately became hot and painful. Good. You unfilial thing. How dare you go and collect the prize by yourself? My father scolded. What qualifications do you have to collect the prize? At this moment, I regretted letting them know that I had won the lottery. And I really regretted it. It seems that what they say on the internet is true. You can't tell anyone when you have money, even if it's your parents. Because human nature can't stand the test of money. Can't I claim the prize I won myself? I covered the left side of my sore face and said, Where's the money? Give me the money or you won't be able to enter this house today. My dad glared at me and said sternly, Fine. If you can't come in, you can't come in. With that, I put my shoes back on and turned around to leave. Stop. My dad's voice came from behind me. Leave your bank card. I didn't have my card on me. I was telling the truth because I had left it at the villa and I was just coming back to take my parents out for a nice meal. Seeing that I didn't move, my dad snatched my handbag, opened it, mouth down, and shook it haphazardly for a few moments. And all the contents fell out. My newly purchased lipstick fell into two halves. And a glass bottle of face cream also shattered. Not finding my bank card, my dad asked, Where's the money? The money has been spent, I said. When my mom heard this, she covered her chest and gasped. Where did you spend the money? That's the money for your brother to get married. Don't you want to buy a house? I've already bought it. You can go and live there anytime you want. I said. My brother is only 19 years old now. And it's still a long way to go before he gets married. But I'm 25 years old. So I'm in a bigger hurry than he is. When I finished speaking, I squatted down to pick up my things, feeling sorry for my newly bought lipstick and face cream. My mom cried out and scolded me for being an ungrateful daughter, calling me a big-tailed backstabber. I returned to the newly bought villa. The next day I was sleeping soundly when the property called to say that someone claiming to be my relative was coming to see me. I saw my parents, aunts, distant cousins and others on the gated video phone. I walked out the door to greet them. See, I was right. My daughter lives here. She is the owner and I am the owner. My mom said condescendingly to the property lady and the big brother of the security guard. I'm sorry. Because we really haven't seen you guys before. So we can't just let anyone in. The security guard replied. This has nothing to do with whether or not we've seen you before. I think you're just looking down on people. My mom scolded. Yes. Even a guard dog is so arrogant. Agreed my aunt. My aunt chimed in. Seeing them in such a state, I thought to myself that it must not be good. How can you scold people? The big brother of the security guard was red with anger. This is a high-class neighborhood. The owners can only enter by swiping their faces. You can't open the access control. So of course we have to stop you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to trouble you. They are indeed my parents and relatives. I hurriedly went forward to apologize. The security guard and the property owner looked at me incredulously and reluctantly opened the door for them. As soon as I entered the door, my mom slapped at me. You bitchy hoof. How dare you live here by yourself? But this time I dodged it. I bought the house myself. Do I need your permission to live here? Jessica Hahn. It's not that I'm talking about you. You're a girl. You're not married. Why would you buy a house? If you buy a house, what man will dare to marry you? Why don't you lend me the money to buy your cousin a house in the county to get married? Besides, I changed your diapers when you were little. You have to be grateful. Auntie has no skills. But she is good at emotional blackmail. I finally understand. My mom is bringing relatives to force me to take money. I said, Auntie, your son's marriage is none of my business. Didn't you and your aunt give him money to buy a house? If you really can't, you can ask the next village's Uncle Wang to subsidize a little bit. At least you have been carrying your aunt's father for so many years. So you can't let him sleep with you for nothing. Can you? Aunt heard the face a burst of red and white. Immediately scolded. You this dead girl nonsense what? I didn't make it up. My mom told me herself. I looked at my mom. My mom's eyes were wide open. My mom is a sharp-tongued person who likes to talk to me about everything. She knows that my aunt often has an affair with Uncle Wang from the next village. But she doesn't reveal it to her. My aunt's father had his legs amputated in a car accident. So the family relied on my aunt alone. Cousin is a loafer and has yet to get married at the age of 30. Auntie instantly turned the blame on my mom. Sister. Why are you like this? We agreed not to tell outsiders about this. Where do you want me to put my old face? Han Han is not an outsider. Besides, you don't allow others to talk about the shameless things you did yourself. My mom's dislike for people is really good. When my aunt heard this, she went crazy and tore at my mom, who was not to be outdone. The two sisters fought, and my father was busy trying to persuade them to fight. The people watching in the neighborhood gradually increased. Without my mom and aunt, it was much easier to deal with the distant cousin. The distant cousin said, Han Han, if you want lend it to your aunt. Then lend it to your distant cousin for $100,000. 100,000 is nothing to you. Right? No. You're not even going to lend me this much money. You're so stingy. If you want to borrow this kind of money, do you have no one in your family? I said. Hey. Why are you like this? Didn't you promise well in the group last time? Why are you backing out now? You have to be honest and trustworthy. Didn't your parents teach you that? A distant cousin said spitefully. Oh. So he was talking about the night my mom sent out the red packets. My mom did promise to lend them money. Distant cousin. You've got it wrong. I'm not the one who promised to lend them money. It's my mom. It was my mom who promised to lend them money. The distant cousin looked surprised. You. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with not lending you money? Sister. Look at what kind of daughter you've raised. There's no discipline at all. And she's not even educated. She doesn't even know basic manners. You're killing two birds with one stone. You scolded my mom. But you also scolded me. It's a pity that those who don't have a firm stance are doomed to be abandoned. You're still a human being. You don't even know how to talk. I disliked. My mom heard this and naturally didn't want to suffer. Spitting at her distant cousin while wrestling with her aunt. Bah! Who are you? It's not your turn to lecture me. I'll tell you. I'll never lend you any money today. Even if I had any. Upon hearing this, the distant cousin's old face pulled down. If you don't want to lend it, you should have said so earlier. What a waste of expression. After saying that, he turned his head and left. On his way out, he also cursed. A family of uneducated people. Ah shucks. My father, who was like an NPC, couldn't help but say, "You're the one who has no family education." After saying that, he and the security guards persuaded my mom and aunt together. I said to the security guards, "Blow them all out. I don't welcome them." A few security guards and the property owner got the order and joined forces to push them out. No matter how much my mom and dad shouted behind me, I didn't turn around. 3 days later, my mom called. "Your father is sick and hospitalized. If you have a conscience, Come back to see him. If not, well, pretend we never had you as a daughter. I hung up the phone after saying that. I didn't have time to ask my dad what kind of disease he had. In the past, when I didn't listen to them, my mom loved to threaten me with "I'll disown you as my daughter." As soon as I heard that, I was very scared and my heart raced. It seemed as if I was the kite and the spool was tugging at my mom's hand, while she was holding scissors in her other hand, making a gesture to cut the string in her hand. I took a deep breath and told myself not to be afraid, that I was old enough to protect myself from being terrorized. Adjusting my state of mind, I hurried to the hospital and saw my dad lying on the hospital bed with his eyes closed. My mom was sitting beside the bed, sighing. "What kind of disease does Dad have?" I asked anxiously. As soon as my words left my mouth, a big slap hit me in the face, and I was dumbfounded. When I looked at him, it was my brother Jason Ming. He must have come all the way from school to visit when he heard that Dad was sick. "Jessica Han, you're really something, aren't you? You've made Dad sick. If Mom hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known you were so unfilial. Mom and Dad did their best to raise you until you were 18. And they put you through college. Shouldn't you repay them for what you owe them? Don't say $10 million. Even if you give them $100 million. It's all right. They gave you your life." The son of a bitch called me by my first name. Not even my sister. Not even a quiet vested interest anymore. Slap. I slapped back nonchalantly. "Jason Ming. It's not your turn to lecture me." Jason Ming was about to swing his fist at me when he was pulled back by a nurse on the side. The patients in the same ward saw the commotion and gathered around to watch and eat. I glared at my mom, who quickly lowered her head. If I guessed correctly, my mom added fuel to the fire by selling my brother back. Jason Ming. My mom and dad raised me until I was 18. Didn't they raise you until you were 19? I live on $1,000 a month. And you live on $2,500. $1,000 of which is from me. You're even holding the latest newsletter. Even the latest Apple cell phone you're holding and the clothes you're wearing were bought with my money. Don't talk about repaying Mom and Dad. Have you ever repaid me? You don't have to repay me $10 million. You just have to pay me back the money I spent on you," I said with a deadpan look at him. Jason Ming how did not expect his own old bottom just so in public to be uncovered. Self-esteem was trampled underfoot. His face was hard to see the extreme. His eyes to spit out fire. A quiet vested interest. Still really think they are so bullish. Standing on the moral high ground to accuse others. But, as long as I don't have morals, no one can kidnap me. My mom pulled the corner of Jason Ming's shirt and wiped a tear from her eye and said, "Mingcheng, forget it. We are all family. Don't hurt the peace. Your dad is still lying on the hospital bed. What a family. I don't even feel red when I say it." Jason Ming nodded, frowning as he sat on the edge of the bed. "What's wrong with Dad? Bring me the medical records." I forced myself to calm down. I took the medical record my mom handed me and looked at it. It didn't say what the exact illness was. It just said something like overworked. At that moment, the nurse came over and said, "Jiang Jiwei's family. It's time to pay the bill." I could clearly see the contempt in her eyes. My mom said, Okay. Well, pay the bill right away." After saying that, she handed me a payment slip and urged, "If you feel sorry for your father, go and pay the fee obediently. That way I'll take back what I said before." I took a closer look. $100,000. What kind of bill is this for $100,000? Isn't it overwork? I could think of what was going on with my toes. What was said can't be taken back. I walked out of the hospital room. Found the attending doctor. turned on the cell phone recording and walked in. Doctor. What kind of disease does my father have that costs 100,000 yuan? The doctor raised his eyes and looked at the bill. You still have the nerve to ask? Obviously. There is nothing wrong with him. But he has to be hospitalized. And he has to use the best medicine. I really don't understand you people. The country keeps giving you relief. But you waste resources and spend more money. Blah 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 blah. The doctor vented angrily. I lowered my head to listen and opened the payment slip to take a closer look again. Sure enough. The medicines inside were basically imported health products and supplements. The quantity was so large that eating them for 3 years wouldn't be enough. I really didn't think that they couldn't get it by forcing me to take the money. So they thought of using the trick of pretending to be sick to get me to pay. Doctor. I'm really sorry. It's our fault. We really shouldn't have wasted the national resources. Well, immediately be discharged right away. And definitely won't cause any trouble to the hospital. After they were quietly discharged, they went back to the hospital room and said, Let's go home. Go home? My mom asked. Yes. I'm going home. I've already completed the discharge procedures. My mom pretended to be surprised. And immediately controlled her opinion by howling at the top of her voice. You goddamned bastard. Your father is so sick. But you force him to be discharged from the hospital. You unfilial daughter. What kind of sin did I create to give birth to such an animal like you? Saying that, a few tears fell at the right time. It's a pity that my mom didn't become an actress. The hospital room began to buzz with activity. My brother roared. Jessica Han. Has your conscience been eaten by a dog? It's not enough that you don't take care of Dad when he's sick in the hospital. You even forced him to be discharged. The patients began to unite with my mom and brother in accusing me. Your parents have done a lot of hard work to raise you. So you can't be without a conscience. Young people nowadays are so selfish. They don't care if their parents live or die. Your parents raised you. You raised them. It's only right. I smiled but didn't say anything. I smiled without saying anything. Took out my cell phone from my pants pocket. Unlocked it. Turned the volume up to the maximum. And played the recording of the doctor talking to me just now. You still have the nerve to ask? Obviously there is nothing wrong with you. But you have to be hospitalized. And you have to use the best medicine. Alas. I really don't understand you people. The state keeps giving you relief. But you waste resources. Not to mention, you still have to spend money. After the recording was played, the ward quieted down and I played it again. The quiet crowd began to stir again. So it's the bad guys who are getting old. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. You can't be so unethical. Pretending to be sick when you're not. It's a waste of national resources. Shame on you. If you didn't know, you'd think your daughter was unfilial. But after all, it turns out that the old couple is here to trap their daughter. See, water can carry a boat and it can also overturn a boat. That's how it works. When my mom, my dad and my brother saw the change in public opinion, their faces turned red and green. My dad, on the other hand, got up quickly, packed up his things and dragged my mom out of the house. My brother was so angry that he wanted to scold me. But my father stopped him. Let's go. Are you not ashamed enough? After that, the three of them left the hospital in disgrace. The warm-hearted patients began to comfort me. Don't be afraid. Girl. Some parents are really bad. Don't take it to heart. It's not worth it to be angry with yourself. The state should really give prospective parents a test. And parents should be licensed. When I saw the reaction of the patients, I was happy. The patients of this class are really powerful. My parents stopped pretending to be sick and started thinking about how to talk to me properly. A week after they were discharged from the hospital, My father called. His tone of voice was disheartened. My daughter. It was my fault in the past. I shouldn't have treated you like that. Can you forgive us? Well, the sun has come out of the west. And my dad can apologize. What's the matter? I asked as I polished my nails with a tool. My dad stammered for half a day. Well, you have a house now. But your brother doesn't. And he's the only one in our family who will inherit the family heir. Can you transfer the house to your brother? I guarantee that there will always be a room for you in the house. After hearing words like only and inherit the family heir, I couldn't listen any longer. They are so calculating. How cheap I must be. To give my brother the house I bought and live on my own. You all said that my brother is the only one who will inherit the family heir. So you are treating me as an outsider. What does it matter to me if I am an outsider? Through the phone, I could see my dad's twisted face as he held back his anger. He probably never thought that the daughter he raised would be hardened and dare to confront him. After a long time, the phone went silent. If you want to come and live here, you can do so anytime. But there is only one owner of the house. And that is me, Jessica Han. If Jason Ming wants to buy a house, he can earn his own money. But it's not impossible for him to borrow from me. Just write me a loan note and pay me back at that time. After hanging up the phone, I went on to put nail polish on my nails. The golden hair on the other side was lazily looking at the sunset outside the floor-to-ceiling window. Its smiling face was reflected on the glass window. After that, my parents never made a scene again. I still work full-time, read books and walk my dog, and enjoy my life to the fullest. You can only be happy if you dare to say no to people and things that make you uncomfortable. Compromise will only make you feel sorry for yourself. When you are brave to say no, the whole world is helping you. End.